Good morning, it's Diana with Taptail Greenway, and I'm here for hashtag Taptail Tuesday. So glad you could join us. So this morning we're going to read Secrets of the Garden. We'll learn about food chains and the food web in our backyards. So the family we're looking at today, this is Alice and her parents and her brother Pete with their cat Honey and their chickens Maisie and Daisy. It's spring and the days are getting longer. The sunshine warms the earth. It's time to plant the garden. Dad gets the soil ready. Then my brother and I dig in. I plant zucchini and radish and carrot seeds. My brother plants lettuce and pea and beet seeds. We cover the seeds with soil and pat it down with our hands. Then we watch the sky. I'm hoping to see some rain clouds, but the sky is clear and blue. We hook up the hose and a rainbow sparkles in its spray. Old leaves and vegetable scraps, along with a little poop from our coop, from the chicken coop, make good compost to add to the soil. Billions of tiny bacteria digest the vegetables, leaves, and scraps. That process releases nutrients that are good for growing plants. So I try to imagine what's going on under the soil. Are our seeds alive and growing? Every morning we hurry out of bed and check to see if anything has sprouted. But days go by and still our garden looks like an empty patch of brown. Then one morning, my brother calls out. He is the first to see. I run over and bend down close to the ground, and I see them too. Tiny sprouts are poking up through the soil. Sprouts send roots down into the soil. They push their tiny stems up above the soil. Soon, two little leaves unfold on each stem. Then more leaves grow. And here are some different sprouting plants that you might find in your garden. Beets, zucchini, spinach, potato, and tomatoes. Each day, our sprouts grow a little bigger. Soon, they are big enough to be called seedlings. Early in spring, Mom planted tomato and green pepper seeds in small pots. She kept them warm indoors by a sunny window. Now her seedlings are ready to go in the garden. She puts potatoes the size of marbles in the ground too. They will sprout more quickly than potato seeds. Sunlight gives plants energy. Plants use energy from the sun to make food out of air, water, and nutrients from the soil. This is called photosynthesis. Plants store the food in their roots, leaves, stems, seeds, and fruits. These are the nutritious parts that we eat, and when we eat them, they pass their energy along to us. So some of the parts of the plants that we eat are the leaves. So we eat lettuce leaves and spinach and cabbage. We eat root vegetables, radishes, carrots, potatoes, and beets. The fruits of zucchini, pumpkin, tomatoes, and peppers. We eat the stems of plants like asparagus and celery and rhubarb. And we also eat the seeds like peas and beans and corn. The green leaves of a plant catch the sunlight. Tiny holes on the underside of each leaf take in air, and I'll bring that closer so you can see them. See the magnified section here for all the tiny holes. A plant's roots take in water and nutrients from the soil. Sunshine, fresh air, water, and soil help the seedlings in our garden grow. Our lettuce and radishes are the first plants ready to eat. We nibble the sweet green leaves and crunch the spicy red roots. But something or someone is enjoying the vegetables as much as we are. And look for a good place to hide, tiptoe in, and sit very still. You wouldn't believe the things I see. Our little garden is filled with life. Many types of animals eat plants. People eat plants too. Plants are the first link in any food chain. There are many different interconnected food chains in the garden. So the simple one here is lettuce grows and the rabbit eats the lettuce. I spot a small brown rabbit munching lettuce. So he's the one. The rabbit's ear twitches and our cat Honey sees it. But the rabbit is too fast. He shoots out of the garden like a rocket. Honey will be good at keeping the rabbit away from our lettuce. One morning I noticed some ears of corn on the ground. A few of the kernels have been nibbled. Maybe a mouse discovered the fallen ears and stopped for a snack. Last fall, Mom found an empty mouse nest on the ground under her old tomato plants. The mice had woven grass and dead leaves to make a comfortable pocket and lined it with lint and downy feathers. I wonder where the mice might be living this year. I lie back and watch the clouds. High above, a hawk flies over. She turns back and begins to circle. Though most of the animals I see are plant eaters, or few are meat eaters. The hawk glides down silently. In an instant, the bird snatches a grasshopper in her claws and swoops away. Yikes! Better stay in your nest, mice. And here's a longer food chain. The corn plant grows. The mouse eats the corn. And then the hawk eats the mouse. I like catching grasshoppers and other insects and spiders in the garden, but I don't eat them. Usually I watch them for a while and then let them go. Once I found caterpillars gnawing on Mom's pepper plants. After that, I caught as many as I could and fed them to our chickens. So here's Alice showing the shiny bug. She says, look at this shiny bug. And Dad says it's called a potato beetle. Potato leaves are its favorite food. And her brother Pete says, potato leaves? Yeah, I don't care as long as it doesn't eat my potato roots. And then Mom says if the beetle eats all the potato leaves, the roots may die. Maybe I should dig up this plant. We could have potatoes for supper. So there are so many of these different insects in our gardens. We have herbivores, which are the plant eaters, and we have the carnivores, which are the meat eaters. So the herbivores are the aphids, potato beetles, whiteflies. You might find snails and slugs, or the grasshoppers and caterpillars. The carnivores, ladybugs, spiders, praying mantis, toads, and hawks. So here's a longer food chain. The pepper plant grows, the caterpillar eats the pepper plant, the hen eats the caterpillar, the hen lays the eggs, and then we eat the eggs. Spiders are hunters. A few, like wolf spiders, stalk insects on the ground, but most, like garden spiders, build sticky webs that help them catch their prey. Another food chain, potato plant grows, the potato beetle eats the potato leaves, and then the spider eats the beetle. And then another extension is the potato leaf, the potato plant. The potato beetle eats the potato leaf, the spider eats the beetle, and the robin eats the spider. Lots of different insects are busy eating plants and other insects. The spider is busy with his beetle. They don't seem to notice that a robin has been watching. A beetle or a spider would make a good snack for a robin. All of a sudden, I see the robin scratching and pecking at the soil. He's found an earthworm. As he pulls, the worm stretches like a rubber band. Then snap, it pops out and the bird swallows it in one gulp. So Alice asks, well, she says no arms, no legs, no hands, and no feet, but it's a tug of war. Why is it so hard to pull the worm out of the ground? Mom says, well, he has tiny bristles that help him hang on to the walls of his burrow. We use our cultivators to loosen up soil around plants so water can get down to the roots. We spread compost to add nutrients to the soil, but the worms are really better at helping the soil than we are. They work at it every day and never seem to get tired. So we're going to go on a journey here. Worms are special parts of the food chain. When plants die, they fall to the ground and begin to rot. The worms eat the rotting plant. As the worms tunnel around, they leave digested plant matter behind in the soil. The digested plant matter returns important nutrients to the soil. The worms also loosen up the soil as they tunnel. Then water and air get down to the plant roots more easily. Worms help the plants grow. So I hope I didn't make anyone a little dizzy on that one, but that was kind of fun going through the worm tunnel. The plants depend on the worms and on the sunshine and fresh air. They depend on the rain and on the good, rich nutrients in the soil. Oops. We depend on the plants. Without them, there would be no food for animals or for people. We're all connected. Every food chain begins with a plant. Together, all the food chains in the garden make up a food web. Every member of the food web is important for a healthy garden. People are part of the food web too. So the food web shows the plants, the animals that eat them as they get bigger and bigger. So the mouse eats the corn and the robin eats the mouse. The hawk probably would eat the robin. People eat the plants. The cats eat the spiders, and the spider eats the caterpillar. The caterpillar eats the leaves. Ecology is the study of all living things in one area or environment and how they relate to each other. The word ecology comes from the Greek word oikos, which means house or home. Any living thing's environment is its home. I like to call the garden our summer home. Our real home is made of wood. It has 4 walls and a roof and floor that keep out the sun and rain and dirt. It's a good house, really, but our garden home is different. Only my family and I live in our wooden home, but in our garden home, we make way for the neighbors, for the rabbits, the birds, spiders, and beetles. It's their summer home too. As autumn nears, the days get shorter and cooler. We harvest the vegetables that are left. The time has come to clean our tools and put them away for the winter. Time for the garden to rest. The animals have eaten and stored fat for the winter months ahead. We are also busy storing food. We can tomatoes and pickle beans and freeze corn and hang baskets of potatoes in the cellar. And plan for next summer, sorry. So Mom thinks that they should plant strawberries next year, or pumpkins. It's a little sad saying goodbye, but I know that as we sit together through long winter evenings, we'll be having fun planning our next garden and dreaming about the warm days of spring. And here's a picture of their garden. So Alice had her area, Dad's favorite area, and Pete's place, and then Mom's special corner, and even the run for Maisie and Daisy chickens. So thank you. So now we're going to look at, we mentioned the sprouting, and I have these other pictures in this other book here, Grow It and Cook It. And so this is garden projects and recipes that you can use or make from what you grow in your garden. But this one we're going to see up close if I can get this positioned properly, the seed sprouting. So the root's starting and the seed is just starting to sprout. And then it grows a little longer, and now we have the seedling with its little leaves up here and the roots getting a little longer. And the root continues to grow, and we get more of the larger leaves up here, and the seedling leaves still stay here. And then we continue for the roots to grow a lot longer and spread out further so they can pick up more nutrients and grow a lot taller right here. And so this is on photosynthesis. The plants take in the carbon dioxide from the air and the water from the soil. They also use the sunlight, and together that makes a sugar-based food for the plants to use. Oxygen is then released as a waste product from the plants, but of course is what we rely on to breathe. So some of the fun things you can do with the garden, you don't need a lot of space to have a garden. You can grow things in a pot if you have limited space. You can use raised beds like I've got back here. I'll lift this up for 1 second and show. I don't have a lot of space, but I've got some raised beds with my garden. So if you have a lot more space available, you can grow a lot more vegetables, or you can stick to using pots, which would be great. So pumpkins, oops. You can grow potatoes in a pot. Those are very easy to grow. So if you look over in your pantry, maybe you have potatoes that start to get these little eye growths on them. You can cut the potato down, plant it, and then you're going to have your own potatoes to grow. So lettuce is one that's nice and easy to grow in pots. And you can keep that growing year-round because you can move those inside, of course. And let's see some recipes to do with some goodies that you find from your garden. So if you grow sunflowers, if you can grow sunflowers and get this, that would be amazing. You can make sunflower pot loaves of bread. Mini loaves of bread. There's one where you can, let's see, blueberries are a good one. You can grow blueberries in a pot. And make a blueberry cheesecake. How yummy is that? Let's see, you grow tomatoes. Let's see, or eggplant. Eggplant and tomatoes. You can roast up your tomatoes and your eggplant And this one, you stack them separately, put on this yogurt and honey mix, and top it with some almonds. Lots of stuff you can do with your everything that you grow from your garden. If you grow beans, you can make this yummy stir fry. So lots of stuff you can do with your garden. So I hope you've enjoyed this Secrets of the Garden. We will post both of these books on our website so that you can get your own copy if you're interested. And I hope you join us again next Tuesday at 10 o'clock for hashtag Tapteel Tuesdays. And next week we will be doing painted ladybug rocks. So I'll see you there. Bye, thanks.